Hi everyone, I'm back again with another video, and what I want to talk to you about or share with you is in this video you're going to learn about people that leave their bodies. Um, Most people, not all, but most people that are really unaware of themselves will leave their bodies without even knowing it. So in this video I'm going to talk about people who do, and the signs and things that you can do if you're one of them. Um, that will help bring you back into your body, and the reasons why we do leave our bodies. Um, the thing about that is that sometimes people will make reference to, what was I getting ready to do? Um, they'll also be in a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden, the other person will say something, and you'll go, well, I didn't say that, when in actual reality, you did. Or they did. Remember that, this is two ways. And so a lot of times we don't talk about we don't talk about why people leave their bodies. You're not It's not talked about a lot, especially in teachings. I know with my clients, that's one of the things that I notice first when they first start coming, um, is how they're not in their bodies, and that's one of the first things I start teaching them, because you really miss out. Um, a lot of crap can happen, that takes place while you're not in your body, that can really kind of cost you in relationships, or can cost you your safety, actually, especially if you're driving. Um, so, anyhow, when people have traumatic situations when they're growing up, whether it's real or fancy, I mean, there's sometimes, and this is why, it's important to really be able to discern what's real and what's not real. Um, if in growing up you were in an abusive situation, the odds are higher that you will leave your body because you learned to do it as a child. Um, the thing about that is that the kids within, or that part of you that learned how to leave your body back then, it was a safety measure. It was a self-protection because you didn't know what to do. As an adult, it's more detrimental because you're not a child anymore. But that child is responding to things that did happen back then. So, with that being said, a lot of times when you see someone and you think, oh, God, they're an airhead. Well, no, they're not an airhead. They're just not home. They're not present. They're not in their body. And how many times have you been in a conversation, you swear to God, no one seems to listen? Well, odds are they're not, because they're off somewhere else. And I'm not talking about people that are in their heads, because a lot of times you'll hear phrases of, well, I'm in my head looking for the answer. Well, there's a different expression on a person's face when they're doing that. Um, when someone is not home, or someone has left their body, you will get a blank expression on their face. Their eyes, I mean, they're just not there. And some of you that are watching this video know what I'm talking about, and some of you that are watching may not know about it. Um, but why do when people leave their bodies, it can be for the smallest things, or it can be for a major thing. A major thing would be, let's say you're in an intense argument with somebody, or you're perceiving an intense argument, or you're anticipating an intense argument. Um, I like using the word confrontation, because the word confrontation just conjures up all kinds of fears in a person, when actually that's not what confrontation is about. But back to this. The thing is that the person that has this idea of this argument or anger or possible abuse coming towards them, they leave their bodies. So they're not present to know actually what is going on. So when they do come back, when they think it's safe or whatever, and they do come back, then they've missed out, and they don't have the knowledge of that conversation in order to be in their empowerment. This happens a lot to women. It also happens to men, um, but women mostly, because women learned at an early age to leave their bodies. Um, whether out of fear, even out of anger. A person can be so angry with the situation that's going on around them that they will leave their body. Um, it's really amazing. Anything can trigger it, but everything that triggers it is going to be old stuff. It's not going to actually fit with present day situations. The kids will then have a notorious ability to be able to just leave because that's all they know to do. So people that have trauma in their lives in the past are very renowned for doing this. Um, One of the ways that when a person leaves their body, if you can just now not them, you want them to. It's really kind of hard to explain this without having. I wish I had someone here that I could just use for y'all to see that expression that comes across a person's face when they're not at home. They're not aware. And when this happens to you, then if you become aware, if you are in a conversation or you bump into a wall, yeah, thanks, guys. Another way to tell is you will bump into walls. You'll go around door facing, and that door facing is just kind of hit you on the shoulder. That's another way to find out that you're out of your body. And so one of the techniques that I was taught by my elders was you literally just start patting the back of your back uh, in order to bring you back in. If you're a healer and you have a client that is going blank on you or is not in their body, there's another technique that I will try to do a video on at a later date that you can do to help bring the client back in, because there's nothing more harder than to work with a client that's not present. Now, when a person leaves their body, um, in a discussion or in a conversation or in any way, shape, or form, you can be driving. You honest to God do not know what's going on. So when you come back and someone says something to you, you'll look at them like, no, I didn't. Well, the fact of the matter is, yes, you did. So I would say that probably 90% of the population leave their body on a regular basis. I mean, go to the bank. Look at the bank tellers. Now, we can use the excuse of, well, I'm stressed. Well, stress does play a role. I mean, I'm not going to deny that at all. Stress will play a role, but not as much of a big of a role as much as a person's past. Because we learn things that we bring into our adulthood that is more detrimental than good. So if you're working at a job and something comes about and you decide to leave your body because you just don't like being where you're at, then you come back and all of a sudden something's going on that you totally are clueless about, but yet you don't realize you're clueless about. Um, so being in your body is one of the most important things that you can ever do. You can sit and claim being in awareness, and I've known people that I'm in awareness. I am so aware. No, some are. Most aren't, because they do leave their body and they're clueless about it. So start paying attention to yourself, um, especially if it's you, or pay attention to other people around you, because it's extremely frustrating to be in a conversation and the other person is not present. And one of the things, or one of the techniques that I use, especially with my acquaintance or friends, is I'll turn around and do this. I'll snap my fingers and go, hey, by the way, did you find out? There's a number of ways to do things without drawing a bunch of attention to yourself. But I have just casually went, oh, by the way, and you will watch them come back. It's a sound breaker. It's a vibration breaker. I spoke in one of the other videos in breaking energy. When you've been around some crappy energy, checking your chakras is snapping. Um, if you have a good snap, you're cool. If you have a thump of a snap, then you got some crap hanging out. So, but anyway, I just wanted to real briefly come on and talk about people leaving their bodies and how common it is. There is a solution. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back to get back in. And if not, if you're around somebody, do the snapping, or you can gently pat them up high up here, not on the mid part of the back. That um, There's another technique that I think I can give verbally that would help. Is, for an example, you can't. It's hard to do it to yourself. The best thing to do for yourself is the pat on the back. However, if you're a healer, one of the things that you can do for your client is when they are in conversation and you see that they leave their body, is that you can pull them on their arms. You know, have them stand with their knees relaxed and just gently pull at the wrist and just gently pull them. And if they're out of their body, you will see them stumble. Okay, they can't hold their balance. Um, you know, you do their arms, both their arms, and you pull the arms into the front. God, I wish I had more room. You pull the arms into the front, and you just kind of pull it like that, and pull this one like this, and then take the arms into the back and pull. You pull gently. You don't yank them because you know yanking anybody is going to make them tilt. You gently pull, and you're able to tell that the person is out of their body. Plus, the person is capable of seeing that they're out of their bodies. So, as being a healer, and if you do healing work, you know, it's a great technique to get your clients back into their bodies so that they're present during the session. Even if you're doing healing work, if you're just putting somebody on the table and you're not verbally working with them, you know, also putting, you know, the two, if you're just putting them on the table, do that prior to them getting on the table. And if you see they're having a hard time getting grounded, coming back off the table, it's another good thing, you know, because you want your clients grounded when they go to leave. You don't want them off in airspace from being on the table. So anyway, I hope you all are having a great day. Please like the video. It will be up on YouTube also, so please subscribe to that. I'll be doing videos regularly here now, and so I just appreciate your support. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. God bless, and talk to you later. Thank you so very much.